All right. Let me get back to here. All right, guys, we are starting the stream right now. So let's switch over. Let's switch over to our chat. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. It's Saturday afternoon. So not sure who's out there, who's watching, but we're here. We're live. We're doing our thing. We're gonna stream some Legend Bowl and talk about studio updates, talk about what's going on with the release and how things are kind of turning out at this point. I want to share some information with you guys on what we're doing and talk through it. But hopefully everybody's doing well out there and things are good. Things are good. So I am going to, let's see, Legend Bowl music. Turn that off. Playing Legend Bowl, good. That's what you want to do. You want to play Legend Bowl. We got to play Legend Bowl. Share it with anybody you know. Obviously, we need to get as many shares as we can out there with people. So don't keep it all to yourself. Share it with your friends, family. You know, we're trying to get it out there. And I guess what I could do is actually move this over so you guys can see me. That'd be nice. All right, there you go. Here I am. I thought I was on screen, but I'm not. And now things should sound pretty well. It's pretty good. Let me just put this volume up a little bit, and then we'll go from there. We'll see how this sounds. But this is the actual official trailer for the game. I'll be playing this in the background so we can kind of hear and watch something while I'm talking, while you can hear my dumb face talking about the game. But we're here. We made it. Saturday. It's been a hectic launch week. We have a lot of things that we wanted to share with you guys, like I just mentioned, but I just wanted to have an opportunity to do another Q&A. I wanted to do one the other day, but we've been so busy with updating the game and fielding all of the feedback from people and comments from everybody. And it's been great. It's been awesome. This launch is obviously a bigger deal than the one we did on Steam. Steam was great, but Steam was also early access. Nobody knew who we were, and we have a little bit of street cred now. There are some things I'm going to talk about as well with the Steam release and kind of what, how it went. But we'll get to that later and kind of just how Steam impacts a regular release and all that. But we're here. It's Saturday. We're enjoying the weekend and football. I saw some preseason football last night, so that's pretty cool. I think the Bills are playing soon. I haven't checked their schedule because I don't really watch preseason. I'm more in tune with what's going on with the roster, but actual games, I don't really care. I mean, I don't need to see anybody important, but it just depends. There are years where I watch it. There's years where I don't. So it really just depends. But let me know if the audio sounds good, if everything is looking good, like I usually ask. And if it's not, we'll tweak it. But I'm going to try to get to some comments. A lot of what we're going to do here is really just go through questions you guys have, share information, and get through as much information to you guys as possible. Play a little bit of the game, maybe talk about what's coming in the near future as well, and go from there. But it's really just a chance for me to connect with you guys and talk about this the launch and the game. So what's up, Dog Sniffing, Metal Face, G.I. Joe, Lovey White, Jamar Anderson, Ed Rittler, Crying Belly, Devontae, Stragnum, welcome back, State of the Franchise Gaming, Slim West, KRL Dog, King West, Whale Shark, you know who you guys are. View, what's up, View? T-Man 55 free. We got about 55 people in here, so we got a little party going on, a little post-launch session party. Incredible game. Thanks, Grade AZ. Appreciate that. Hope you guys are enjoying the game. The game is is long overdue, right? It's been a long time since we first announced the game, and I've been sharing with the game with you guys for a long time, ever since its initial birth, basically, on YouTube. So if you're a fan of the game and you want to check out the behind the scenes stuff, I have plenty of YouTube videos, and some may be boring, some may be better. It just depends on my mood and how long ago they were. But I think my videos have gotten a little better. It just, YouTube I respect people who do YouTube because, or Twitch, any kind of streaming or videos, because it takes some work. It takes a lot of work, and the post-production stuff is crazy. I like to go live and just chop it up live because I don't have to worry about doing all that extra fancy, cool post-editing stuff, right? So I give props to those people. And the thing about, like, so I'm going to go into the Steam release. So we released the game in Steam. I think it was, I'll pull it up right now just to be 100% sure on the date here. But we released on September 2nd, 2021. But we were in early access on Steam for about a year. All right. So it's been since 2020, right? Which is almost 3 years since the game's been out and available for people to try out, right? Now, the thing with Steam is people will cover the game, right? They'll cover the game based on it being a brand new news to the world. And the more people will cover it at that point. And right now I feel like some people, we've gotten some, word back from certain people that they're busy with other things and they don't have the time to show the game off or whatever. But at the end of the day, they do have videos out there that have been done, so people can find those videos. But basically what you want to do is, when you release a game, you want to release them across all platforms at the same time. That's kind of the ideal way to do it, so you get as much energy and as much just buzz going around for the game as early as possible. But that also means that you have to wait a lot longer to share it with people. And this being my first game, I did it differently. I think with College Bowl, I think I'm going to try to do it all in one shot this time and get that full buzz out there whenever that game can make it. Thanks, Lewis. I appreciate it. Your niece is playing Legend Bowl on her PS4. That's awesome, man. That's pretty cool. Like, I'm not sure. That's one thing that I haven't been able to really understand yet, is who's playing it from the younger crowd, right? Like, I know the older people that play it, that follow me, that that are around my generation, who've played it on the played Tecmo Bowl, played the old arcade games. I know that crowd is interested in these kind of games, and I get it. But the younger crowd, like the kids, what are the kids doing? What are the college people doing out there? Like, what is that youth, those generations, what are they doing? And are they interested in playing this kind of game? And it's going to be interesting to see how it all works out. I have been looking at the game everywhere and trying to keep up with the stores to see what kind of coverage we're getting. Also out there on YouTube, I'm keeping in close contact with, all the reviewers that we sent the keys to, and there are a lot of reviewers that still haven't come out yet. So we're hoping that they can make some videos for us and kind of share the game with everybody. But overall, the reception seems to be pretty positive. Like, we're not seeing crazy scores. I don't think I've seen a lot of 9s out of 10s. Like crazy high reviews, but I see 8s. 8s is kind of the average that I'm seeing right now, 8.5, 8, somewhere around there. But it's funny when you watch reviews, because some people will say all these great things about the game, but then all of a sudden, there's one minor thing, like there's not a setting for something, and all of a sudden they drop the game down to a lower score. And I'm wondering, like, why? That's kind of harsh, right? But it's cool. Like, Madden gets 6.8, right? They get 68 out of 100, and they don't get the best reviews, and they sell millions of copies. So who knows, right? Who knows what's going to happen? But for sure, man. Big D, thanks, man. for all the support you've given and helping me out with what. So I appreciate that. So College Bowl, there's going to be more news about College Bowl down the road. I don't know what's going to happen with College Bowl. I really don't know. I think it'd be better to do it all in one shot. And I'm using the foundation that I built Legend Bowl with, obviously, to take that football engine and improve it, to put it in the college game. And the game will be close to fully ported by that time. And so it's just a matter of where we are with the port. And I think we'll be able to swing doing it all at one time. But that's getting way ahead of myself. We're still too early to figure out what's going to happen and where. And, Legend Bowl has to do well for things to keep going, especially on consoles, because consoles is a huge endeavor to take on, right? So that needs to be supported by, like, if Legend Bowl doesn't do well, then what publisher would want to support a game that's based off of Legend Bowl, right? A similar game. It's probably not going to work. So there's a lot to be said, but the ideal solution or the goal would be to put it all in one shot and get that full brand new news. Because one thing I've realized with the influencers is they like to put out brand new content. And if they can, show something new before somebody else, then that's a win on them, because they're trying to get views. At the end of the day, they're trying to get people to watch their channel, watch their videos. And if they're showing stale information, stale gameplay, then, where's the attraction there, right? Like where is the, let me see if I can play this one here. This is cool. I can switch around videos too, obviously, but I'm going to be showing different videos at times through here. So yeah, I mean, people want to see brand new stuff, and that's kind of like the little bit of hit you get by releasing it early on something like Steam, right? Because there are people that aren't going to cover it because they've already covered it. So like Soft Drink TV, he's going to be doing something for us, but his full review video, you can't redo that. Like, that's a great video. If you guys haven't watched it, I'll link it in the description now so you guys can check it out. I think I did it last time as well. It's a great video. If you just look up Legend Bowl review, you'll find it. It's probably one of the top videos out there right now. And his video is just, to me, it's really cool because it kind of, I get jitters, when I watch that video, because it talks about not only the game, but it talks about me and my journey and kind of where I came from and, who I am and, what I'm doing. And it's kind of cool because I'm just like you guys, right? I wanted a better game. I wanted a better product. I'm sick and tired of the same old. I want something that's going to be, I wanted to take control, and I was sick and tired of being a prisoner and a victim of what we had, which was our hands tied to whatever Madden would do, right? Basically, that's the only game. Like, there are other games that tried to come out, but they just didn't do it. And so I said, enough's enough. Enough is enough. I need to do something. And, I wasn't trying to be a hero. This was my own personal passion project that I went full blast on. And I got to the finish line, man. Everybody who supported the game, everybody who's been part of the process, you guys know who you are. I'm not going to mention names so I don't forget anybody, but there are a lot of guys that are in the credits that, that know who I'm talking about, and you know who you are. And all of us together, my artist, the musician, the publisher, Top Hat Studio, shout out to Top Hat for getting the game from PC to console. There weren't a lot of publishers knocking on my door. I'm a brand new guy. I'm making a football game. And, one thing that's funny about football games and sports games in general is any indie developer out there, they frown upon sports games, right? They're not really huge fans of sports games, and there's a reason, because sports games, if you go to any of the old, like, vintage retro stores or used game stores, I have a couple around here in Orlando, all the sports games are on the bottom of the rack, because sports games are just yearly releases of the same old. They're usually just, roster updates. But then you'll see games like All Pro Football or Backbreaker, and those have a little bit more higher price. price point because those were one-offs that happened, right? So, you know, that's something that I notice as well when I'm looking at games. But publishers and investors, they don't love sports games unless you have a license and you're a AAA studio. That's pretty much the gist of it. But anyways, this video is about, let's talk about the launch and the way things have gone. So one thing I wanted to share with you guys is anybody who's playing the game on PlayStation 5, we had a lot of reports from people that were losing their franchise files and losing their rosters. And we apologize for that, like sincerely apologize. We didn't have that issue prior to. Nobody found any of those issues. But, you know, when you let it out into the wild, things pop up. And shout out to Top Hat again. They've been working around the clock, just like I have. And that's why I haven't streamed until today. And we're kind of taking the weekend to recharge our batteries. But we've been working nonstop to get the patches out. And PlayStation's pretty quick to get them. And that was really the area that had the most severe issues, right? So they got the patches out last night. We pushed them out late last night. And so it should be working. But if anybody has any reports that they see any bugs or crashes, one thing I want to recommend for everybody, I've been getting tweets from people, and that's okay. We're trying to, you know, keep up with everything. But the best way you guys can report bugs, join our Discord. The link is down below, down here. Join the Discord for Legend Bowl, and there's a console bugs channel that you guys should be reporting in. That if you do it there, that's really the best place to do it, because that's going to give you the direct access to us. We can actually converse back and forth and diagnose the issue together. And like a guy this morning put an issue in on the Switch where we really didn't even know this existed. And it's not really a bug. It's more of like a design like mishap. And, you know, making a game is such a huge monster of a task. And this kind of a game, this is a big game, right? This is like a AA game at least. The amount of work that goes into it and the number of things that can go wrong, it's crazy. It's like this, like and that's why games like Madden have issues. It's a huge game and they are stuck with this monster, monolithic dinosaur that they have to keep updating and, you know, selling each year. So I get it, but this game was built with the foundation at heart, with the gameplay on the field at heart. That was the priority. That was the pillar. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that are moving, a lot of moving parts, right? So things kind of can crack. And then when you go to consoles, now you have an entire list of things that used to work fine on PC, but they start breaking on consoles. So just all I can do is have patience, bear with us. One thing that you do know is that whatever you report to us, I will make sure, I will guarantee you that we're going to be working on it, because I'm not going to let this game fail. It ain't happening. I've been working on it for too long. And I'm too invested into the game, and I'm too passionate about the game, and I'm going to make sure that this game's working. So anybody who has issues, if you report them, we will do our best to handle it. So just keep that in mind. All right. The Discord link's not working. All right. Maybe somebody can post a link on here. I'll see if I can do it real quick. I'll get a link to the actual channel. Let's see if I can do an invite people. Copy link. All right, so now I have the link. I'll post it on here for you guys. I'll update the stream as well. This is the link that should work. I don't know why it's not working on the actual Discord, but I'll put that link on there. I also have, somebody told me that my Twitter link is not working. I don't know why. But that's interesting to me. But let me know if you guys have any questions, because part of this stream is really to talk to you guys, right? Talk to the community. But I wanted to make sure you guys knew the link on Twitter is the right link. So I don't know. We got 71 people in here. Hit that like button if you haven't already, because that's going to help spread the word. And that's part of the reason why I'm doing this video too, is because we need to spread the word. Like, you know, it sounds like you're just begging for like sales. Like, hey, I'm a millionaire with 20 jets and I want more. No, trust me. Like, this game is cheap, really cheap. And it's compared to a AAA game, it's pennies on the dollar, and the cut that finally comes home to me is not anything crazy. So, you know, I'm just saying that we're a small studio. We don't have a lot of, you know, a huge budget for advertising. So obviously, anything that we can do to get people to follow us and learn about the game, the better, right? Like we just need as much support as we can get, because the only way that we can even get on the radar to all the people that are playing Madden, and really a lot of it is to push, you guys know, push competition so that we can get better games, so that we can get Madden to become better, so that we can push them to do better, so we can push other development companies like Maximum Football that's coming out, push them to put out a better product. And people might think that this game is not 3D and next gen and all this stuff. And I've even heard people say in comments that, you know, oh, it's a retro game, why does it run so slow? Well, there's a lot under the hood. The AI in this game is pretty intelligent, right? There's a lot of things going on, and I've had to learn. When I first started this game, I actually thought the same thing. I was like, oh, well, it's just a pixel game, who cares? And I realized when we went to port the game to consoles that that's not the case. Any game, no matter what graphic style you use, has to be optimized just as much. And so that was a pretty like significant like surprise to me. So keep that in mind. But for bugs, go to the Discord. I just posted it here. I updated the link in the description. So go to our Discord and report bugs. If you guys have questions, we got a great community there, and spread the word. So that's that. So as far as the launch goes, let's talk about this for a second. So we're on the, I'll lower this a little bit. We're on the PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo consoles, right? You guys know that. And so if you go to PlayStation Store, if you go on your PlayStation and you look it up, it's kind of cool because I'm learning how this stuff works. But if you go to new games, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see if I count that right. That thing just jumped. We're what? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last night we were at 8. I think before that we were at 10. So it's a brand new game, and new games show up pretty well, like quickly. On demos, we're up there at the front. This is PS4, PS5, so we're up there and right above good old Tiger, which is funny. But we're being seen. People can see the game exists, which is cool, because my fear was consoles didn't really show off the games well. Steam did a better job of that. That's what I was hearing. But no, it's pretty good. Like, and then if you go to the new games and you look at best selling, that's what we just saw. We're number 10 for new games, and we're literally right in the middle of all of the other, like, these are major titles here. This is not like baby stuff going on. These are not indie games. Like, a lot of these games are AAA games. And then if you go down and you look at, which is interesting, most downloaded, we're number 2, which is weird. And just to be transparent, we have no idea how sales are going. It takes them we probably won't know much until early next week. And I don't even know how much we're going to find out, but we have no idea at this point. We're in the dark. We have no clue, just like you guys, how well the game's doing. And is there any way to get a refund for paying for the game on day one on PlayStation? I don't know. I don't think so, man. You're talking about a few dollars. So I don't really know, but you know, that we had a mix up, and that's another thing that we can talk about. So I learned that, we have the 15% discount, but, for some reason, PlayStation didn't apply it. Like, they messed up and they didn't have the discount available. So, that just happens. Things like that happen. And to be honest, I was surprised that we gave a discount. You know, I'm all for giving people a better deal, but the game is priced pretty low when you talk about other console games. And I think it could have easily sold for $29.99, and then we could have discounted it. But the discount is really, a lot of that has to do with the way, like the strategy to get in the front pages and everything and show the game. But I still think the game is so cheap. that, you know, I don't really know if there's a way. And great. I mean, that's a fair question, and I just don't know if you can do that. I know personally when I try to go on PlayStation and get refunds for things that my son has purchased or things that have been bought by accident, consoles do not do a good job of helping you out. I mean, for some reason, it's not like Steam. They don't refund you easily, and Steam is way different, which is interesting because Steam actually lets you refund the game within 2 hours. And we have about, 18% refunds. That's just the average, somewhere around there. And it's crazy because that's a lot of revenue lost, right? It's almost a quarter of your revenue. All right, I'm gonna try to read some questions. So I'm gonna take a quick break. What I wanted to show you was here that the game is doing pretty well when it comes to the main pages, right? Now I know on Xbox and on Nintendo, the consoles themselves have to be, the consoles actually are better to look at than on the web pages because for some reason the web pages are not accurately showing what's on console, but PlayStation, I verified it. It's right in line with what they see on consoles, right? But here, it might be close actually, but if you go to games and you just look up console games, we're right there on the first page. We're 15% off. Xbox does not have the demo, I don't think, because I don't think that they allowed it or something. I don't know, but we couldn't get it on there. We got it on the Switch and we got it on PlayStation. But this is actually pretty accurate from what I saw. And if you go to sports, we're going to be right in the front. I mean, we're literally on the front page of sports on Xbox. I mean, that's pretty cool. But one thing that I've learned, which is why I don't know how it's doing. Hold on one second. One thing that's kind of interesting that I've learned from releasing on Steam and GOG, Epic Games, you do get a window. You get like a timeline where when you release the game for the first time, you have a time period where they promote your game. They'll promote your game. So I don't know how much of this is based on promotion or not, but it's showing up here. That's cool. I don't care how, it's showing up. So if you go to sports, it's there. Simulation, we're number 5 right now. That's pretty huge. If I go to Nintendo eShop, store, whatever, and I go to games. Now this is where I don't know what it's going to show here compared to the console, but I don't see it. This is featured, right? Sort by featured. If I go down to, and like I said, I don't think this is actually showing the correct information. I can look on I actually have my Switch right here. But if I go down, I'm just curious what the website shows. But if I go down to where is genre? I thought I saw it a second ago. Game type. All right. And if I go down to sports, see, this can't be right because I swear on the actual system, which I'll pull it up real quick. You guys won't be able to really see this very well, but if I go to the store on here and I look up the game, it might be a little different. Let me answer some questions while I'm doing it. Let's see. Scroll up a little bit. Who's playing while listening? Yeah, who is playing the game? What sales numbers would you consider as doing well on console? I don't know, man. That's a good question. Like, I don't have a great answer for that, to be honest. I don't know. But as a studio, I feel like we need to sell some numbers. I mean, what do you guys think is a good goal to hit? You know, like I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm still thinking about that. I'm not sure what a good number is, right? But I put 6 years of my life into this game. So think about it. If you're making, if you're making 100,000 a year, that's 600,000, right? Like if you want to compare it to what you were making, and if just throw out a number of 100, I mean, I didn't make that, but just to throw out a number, like that's kind of, a rough number of what somebody might say they need to make. I don't know. I just don't know. But I know that whatever number it does make has to support the studio for the next X number of years to put the next game out. So it's kind of making up for last year or that last number of years, and then going to the new next game, right? So if I go to the Switch, if I go to featured, there's no way we're going to be on there, right? Like it's just not happening. So featured isn't gonna work, right? I don't see us anywhere on featured. And what's interesting to me is like Legend Bowl is the only real football game on the Switch right now, right? If I go to recent releases, we were as of yesterday, I think we're on the list, but we're way down. We're way down on the list. If I go to best sellers, we're probably not going to be on there either, right? So, but if I do go to let me see if I go to sports, because that's the big one. I wonder if I can is there a way I can look for, let's do recent releases. And then you guys can't see what I'm doing, obviously, but there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way to search for games by genre. If anybody knows how to do that, let me know. Go on your Switch and check it out and see where it's rated. But as of this website, I don't. Hold on a second. All right, my kid's playing games, but when he plays Fortnite, he goes crazy. I don't know why. He yells like a madman. So anyway, so it's on store pages, like people can see it, and that's cool. But obviously, I think that because everybody cares about Madden, that's all they care about. They want Madden, Madden, Madden. Everybody complains about Madden, but then they buy Madden every year. Madden gets a horrible score, horrible rating, and they buy it again. And it's so much more money. And I'm not comparing my game to Madden. Like Madden is far superior when it comes to how many assets the game has, the NFL license, the 3D, AAA company, online. I get it all. I get all that, right? But my hope in my life right now, my mission is to Legend Bowl for me is just an arrow that's going to shoot right at this Goliath. And it's not even Madden. It's more like just the football industry, the gaming industry. It's gonna just throw its hand in there and see if it can put up a fight, just to get people to wake up. And trust me, there are a lot of companies right now that are watching. I've talked to plenty of people during this time that are watching and observing on the sidelines to see how well Legend Bowl does. I've gotten a lot of praise from 2K people too, by the way, behind the scenes. 2K devs that worked on ESPN, NFL 2K5, and All Pro Football. I've talked to those people, okay? I can't mention names. There are people that are waiting on the sidelines to find out how this game does, to see if there's an opportunity in the making, right? And if Legend Bowl does well, then a big company like that may say, okay, we have enough confidence now to go out and put a game out on our own and not just lose all of our investment, right? So this is the first, that's why I was saying in the last stream, this is the first, to me, fully featured minus online, minus the license, right? Fully featured football game to hit the market in a long, long time. And it's a good game, right? The game is good. We're getting a lot of great reviews. People seem to be enjoying it. And I think that it's going to, if people pick it up, it can do well. It has a chance, right? Anyways, so that's that. So As far as news goes, like we're working around the clock. This weekend, we're taking a little bit of a breather, but we're collecting bugs, we're collecting feedback, and there are going to be some post-release patches. There's already one right now that's out. The one big thing is if you're a Nintendo Switch owner, hold on a second. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold on 1 second. All right. Where was I? Losing my train of thought here. Oh yeah. So like if you're a Switch owner, Nintendo Switch, the reviews that were done, if you look up any reviews online for Nintendo, I'm curious while I'm here. When did this game come out? So where is the date? 7/31/23. Okay, so it just came out like not too long ago. That's interesting. Very interesting. If you look at so the Nintendo Switch, if you look at the reviews, like some of the reviews that are out here, Legend Bowl, Switch review, some of the reviews that are out here, those reviews that were done on launch day, a lot of the reviews that you see, they had keys that were prior to any of the performance enhancements that we had to the game. So anybody who bought the game on launch, they got the performance update with the speed multiplier. But I've been working pretty hard. We've been working hard on getting the performance to be even better. So I've updated the animation speed for the players to move faster depending on what speed multiplier. Like they're already moving fast, but like their actual like animation, how fast they look like they're running as they move, that's being updated. It's updated on the PS5, I think, right now, if you were to go check it out. But the ball, if you watch those videos, for anybody who, or if you have it right now, you go play it as it is right now publicly. That version, the guys don't run, like they don't move, like their animation speed as they're moving their arms, they don't move as fast as they should, and the ball goes really slow. That's going to be updated. That's already fixed. It's already out in the patch. The patch won't come out though because, it's not out yet because Nintendo takes about a week to get a patch out. So I think that we're trying to wrap up a couple loose ends that we have on our list for Nintendo for the Switch. And then we're probably going to push the patch out Monday or Tuesday. And then it takes a good, 3 to 5 business days to get out. So you guys just be patient with that because that's out of our hands. We can't push the updates as fast. But I can tell you that anybody who has a Switch is going to be pleasantly they're going to be pleased with the performance update when it comes out in the next patch. And anybody who has it, who's been showing it online, especially prior to the release, the reviewers, they were playing a super old version, and the Switch was the weakest system out of all, and we had to really turn some knobs to get that thing working at all. But it's cool because I'm excited because I have the Switch right here. I like playing the game on the Switch. I just want the best performance possible. I want to see the game play just as well as it plays on the other consoles, and that speed multiplier really makes it feel that way, right? So just heads up for that. Xbox is going to be coming out with the same patch. All the systems are going to get it, but PS5 already got it. But we have a few more things in the works. So there's heavy development going on right now to the game. So anybody who's experiencing anything, just be patient. There's more coming, and we got your back, basically. So, yeah. Now, what's going to be the future? The future is going to be monitoring how the game does, pushing out patches, spreading the word, doing whatever we need to do to get people to find out about the game and discover the game. And, anybody who, like right here, the game is insanely good. We've been hearing awesome feedback from people. the amount of people that I've heard tell me that they love the game, that they like the game, that they're surprised. The one thing I always hear is people are like, oh, I'm so surprised that this little pixel game is so deep and so much more sim than I thought it was going to be. And like, that's always the one that makes me feel like butterflies, because I want people to understand that this game is not, you know, just a pixel art, like, you know, push button game, you know, baby type of just close your eyes and you win. No, this game is a legit experience, right? Legitimate experience, and very, very much the modern day, like they're saying, a lot of the reviews say it, right? They say the modern day Tecmo Bowl, right? And if I look at some of the reviews, like people are saying that. They're saying it's the modern day Tecmo Bowl. Like this guy calls it, he calls it Madden Tecmo Bowl, right? Like that's what he's showing it as, right? The modern day, basically Madden Tecmo Bowl. And they gave it an 8 out of 10. You guys can watch the video. That's Noisy Pixel. They got about almost 50,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool. But I won't play it, so you guys can watch it on their channel. But there are people out there that are saying good things about the game, and it's not just a pixel art game. Anybody you watch, I mean, even SGO, SGO did a really, really nice a nice review of the game. I definitely would watch that video, because I feel like they probably went as deep as anybody has gone so far with the newer videos that are out there. And I'll let you watch it so you can see what they say about it. But overall, the game's impressive. It's got 247 likes. They almost have 300,000 subscribers. It's already gotten almost 7,000 views. And a lot of people on here, if you look at the comments, they're all saying great things about the game, right? This guy's like, I'm good. If I wanted to play something like this, I'd play Tecmo Bowl. And people respond, and some people say, it's good or it's not or whatever. What I'm trying to say is that the community overall is saying really good things about the game. So you and your 12-year-old son are in the middle of a full NFL edit, and you guys made it easy. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Like, man, I mean, you should load up the pro set rosters. Those might give you kind of a head start in that direction if you want to do something like that. And the game was built on the heels, or on the game was built to customize it. If you're going to build an unlicensed game, you got to let people customize it, right? That's a huge requirement. And All Pro Football didn't let you do that. They just didn't. Even Backbreaker didn't let you do as much customization as you could. Like, it was just basically the names and the numbers and like basic stuff. It wasn't like their player likeness, right? And if we jump over to the game, I can show you guys. Let me see if I can actually put the game here so we can see it. Let me jump on the game. Let me jump on. Let me see if I can do it this way. I could just, I could just do it the way I could just do it like this. So here's the game. I have it up right now. Let me just pause that, bring the game up. All right. All right, cool. All right. So if you go into the game, you guys know one thing that I want to show you guys that's something new that just came up. This is just a side note, but I'm going to show you because it threw me for a loop. So when a player is healthy, all of their stats are intact, right? Like this guy's an 82 skill, right? But if I go into here and I change his injury to a 90, right? He's basically injured at this point. Hold on a second. If I change it to a 90, he's basically injured, right? So what happens is when you're injured in this game, you're not out of the game. You could still play the game. The guys will still play. But the thing is, I'll run AI games. That's a good idea. When they're injured, I think it's every 5 points. So like right now, he'll be injured for 2 weeks because we dropped him 10 points, right? But now he's considered to be injured. So his 82 skill is going to go down. If I save it, it's going to go down now when I back out. Now he's a 72 skill, right? He's 2 weeks injured. So what happens is every time I go in here and I save it, if I save this again, if I just do that and I save, he's going to go down again. Now he's a 62. So the idea is like when you're editing, don't touch the injury. And if you do, what I would suggest, you could still injure them. Like if you got a guy who's injured right now and you want him to be out for 4 weeks, well, take out 20 points. It's 5 points per week, right? So make him an 80, right? And then what you can do is you can set his real numbers here, but don't go in here again and save. So if I want him to be an 85 for real, right? But he's out for 4 weeks. I save it, right? He's an 85, but he's really a 65. But what'll happen is when you go into your franchise, and we're going to do it right now just for fun. I want to test this. So this is Hoffman. He's a 65, right? Let's go into franchise. Let's just start a new franchise. We'll actually be Arizona, so we can just, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. And then we're going to see him in here. He still should be a 65. He's still going to be out for 4 weeks, right? And if I go to schedule and let's just schedule this. Let's just simulate this week, right? So 1 week. So he should go to a 90 now because now he's recovered 1 week. Right? I'm not 90. He should go up 5 points, right? So now he's a 70, right? And also on here, it's 3 weeks instead of 4 weeks. If I do 1 more week, now it should be a 75 and he should be only out for 2 more weeks. Now, his skill is dropped, but it's 2 weeks. But if you look at his actual skill here, it's a 72. It's showing as 72, I think because his morale. It's his morale. His morale's not great. But if you look at the actual card, see he's an 85, right? His true score is an 85, which is interesting. Let me go back now. Now I'm curious. I'm doing a little bit of debugging here on live with you guys, but that's cool. So on here, it's the same thing. He's showing 65. He's showing that he's out for 4 weeks. But if I go here, he actually is an 85. Huh. So that's interesting because if I go into here, it's showing that he's a 65. So maybe this screen is just not showing the correct numbers because this one is. That might just be the bug. So I'll work on that. But that's just a side note of something that we just found out today. But that's something that's been in the game forever. You know, but the thing is don't touch this injury. And if you do, don't keep saving or else it's going to keep going down. That's just my thing. Another cool thing that people might not be able to like realize with the game is you can actually go down to teams and I can literally I can shuffle the roster, right? So now all the guys are going to kind of fly around the league and they're going to just move. So like now he's gone, right? Hoffman, he's probably went to a different team. I think shuffle should take him to a different, unless I did that backwards. Hold on. I didn't read it. No, this should do what I just said, right? It should just shuffle players around. Just make sure. So Hoffman, I think, was a pretty decent QB, right? Yeah, there's Dakota. Who are we just looking at? Were we just looking at Hoffman? let's just do this again. So let's go roster data. Actually, we can do teams and then reset all. This is going to put everything back to the raw, right? So then if you go to, so Vance Hoffman, right? He's a 85, right? But if I go to shuffle, he shouldn't die. So I'm kind of curious now. Maybe there's another issue. I don't know. Oh, there he is. There's Hoffman. So the fantasy draft is cool because you can shuffle. It's like a fantasy draft, like in other games, like even ESPN 2K5. I think it had it where you can just shuffle players around. You can also do a rebuilding of the roster. So if you want every player to be rebuilt brand new from scratch, you just literally push a button. It's that fast. And now all of a sudden you have brand new people, brand new names, brand new hairstyles. Like everybody's new. And it's a pretty decent engine that builds these players. Like if you want to look at some of the wide receivers, for instance, like it's pretty solid the way. And you can just keep shuffling and shuffling and shuffling until you're blue in the face and you can pick whatever you want, right? People also talk about the pro set rosters because people want to see, they want to see the real life, like, you know, it's inspired by the real pros, right? So if you go in there and you look at that, like these are teams that might resemble teams of that you're fans of, right? But there's a lot in this game, and that's what I was trying to show you guys, the depth, right? Like you can go into teams, you can edit their colors, you can edit their uniforms, you can edit their jerseys, you can edit their face mask, their jersey colors. We have so many colors. If you hold down L1, you can shoot across. We have 314 different colors that you can choose from. There's a lot that you can do, and I'm not going to save the changes, but there's a lot. You can edit their home, away, alternate uniform. You can rotate them so you can see them. You can look at them this way. You can look at their stats. I mean, there's just so much in this game. The editor's crazy. You can change the names. You guys know. Anybody who has this game knows that you can do stuff to the game, right? If I want to go to, you know, Buffalo and I want to change around their logo, you know, I might put this logo, right? I might jump on that and I might change it to a different team name if I wanted to. And I'll just leave that alone. But the thing is that, like, there's a lot of customization in this game. So much, it's crazy. And let's put some teams on here. Let's do Chicago. Let's do Chicago versus. You know who I want to do? I want to do this team, yeah. Let's just play this. You can set the quarters to whatever you like. But I'll do that while I'm talking and I'm answering questions so we can get a little bit of gameplay going here. But I wanted to do the stream today to just share, oh, I got this on minimalist mode, I think still. Hold on. So like one thing you can do in the game, I'll go back to that in a second. One thing you can do is you can change the presets to whatever you want. If you want it to be like high fidelity, you can do that and it's going to just flip everything around on you. And gameplay is going to stay intact, but this is going to change a little bit. I like that on low. So it's kind of like a starting point. I like to put this on Vintage Pro, I think. The ticker, I'll leave it on. Show team plays. I'll turn that off. Weather effects, yeah, fan density, pro helmet. You can actually take the helmets off, which I think I'm gonna do it just for fun. And I'm gonna keep the hats off too. Replays on, stadium shadows on. So this is gonna look much better. But you can play the game. Let's do it this way. You can play the game without helmets. Like, that's cool. Like, what other football game do we know that you can do that? Like, some people may not want to do that, but it's cool. It's a more casual way to play the game. And it just looks cool. It looks cool. The mobile QB setting. Which one? The mobile QB setting. I don't remember what that even does. I'm trying to think. Like, we have the QB vision, but mobile QB. I don't know. My guys know. Maybe if maybe you can handle that one. No, Nate Skinner, you can't do that on here. Maybe down the road. Doing that it takes a lot of resources. You have to have online capabilities, and we don't have that right now. And that's why the stream, I'm doing this stream too to show you guys. I do not like those showing the bars. So I'm taking that off. So you can put the stamina bars on or off. I don't want to see that. Throw bars is fine. Actually, something that people do also is they show all the names. All players. I like to see that. So you can see who's on the field. Although, to be honest with you, like, you guys really don't know these names anyways. So, but if you make a roster that's like college or pros or whatever, you can set those labels on and you can just watch, you know. That's cool too. Yeah, man, the one thing I can tell you guys is the gameplay on the field was the majority of what I worked on in this game. And, you know, if any of you guys are new to my channel and new to the game, put a comment on here, because I'm curious how many people are new that are in here to Legend Bowl, or they've been somebody that's following me for the past 6 years or beyond. Because I'm curious how many people know about this game and know what I've done to the game. But for those who don't, we spend a majority of the time. I spent, like, I'd say at least 50%, maybe more, of the time developing the game on gameplay, on the field gameplay. I remember when I was being interviewed at EA Sports, they asked me, what did I think was the most important? It was one of the questions in the interview, and they asked me, what do I think is the most important aspect of a game? And they were like, is it the graphics, presentation, gameplay, online capabilities? And thanks, Well Shark. So you've been following me. Cool, man. Thanks for following me. I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the game. It was gameplay. I'm like, it's gameplay. Gameplay is everything. Without the gameplay, you know, you don't really know. You can't really enjoy the game. I mean, if the gameplay is not good, what do you have left? Right? Like, even like that play right there, like the ball got tipped in the air, right? We'll look at that real quick, because this is kind of a good segue. Like, the ball got tipped in the air, right? And that's the ball. Those are the ball physics. So it was a little overthrown. He defended the pass. He tried to jump and get it. He tried to catch it, but it came down. So tip passes aren't guaranteed to be caught, because in real life, how often are tip passes caught, right? It's a harder catch to make. So I lower the catch ability there, but it still is dependent upon how good the player is. If he's a solid player, like this guy right here, he's a 79 skill, he's probably not going to catch that ball, right? But it's cool to see in real time, like boom, boom, boom. So like the ball physics were super important for me to get right. The player movement was crazy. I have videos showing when I was doing things like with momentum and they were skidding back and forth, and and that was hard. I mean, I could break down almost every play, and I'm not going to be Mr. Breakdown guy, but this is important, just a tip for you guys. When you're throwing the ball, you don't always want to throw bullet passes. They're good to throw, right? They're good because that's kind of the reward you get. You get to throw it fast so nobody can get to it quick, just like Josh Allen throws ropes. But you do want to loft it a little bit when you're close to the line, because these guys will attack you. And I'm playing on Superstar, I think. I'm playing on Superstar difficulty, so keep that in mind. The gameplay... Oh, no, never mind. CPU versus CPU. I was going to say, the gameplay gets really hard as you turn it up, but when you're playing AI versus AI, the difficulty does not matter what you put it on. It's not looking at that. It ignores it. But it's really cool. Like, even like something you guys might not realize who just got the game. The crowd, oh, they don't show it in replay. I was going to say, like, if you look at the crowd is dynamic, and they show Like they'll show, like we're playing in New York, right? So they're going to have green shirts on, white. They're going to have the uniform colors of the team, the home team. And then you're going to see like it's sprinkled in with some of the Chicago players, right? Little things like the ads in the bottom. Like there's so much depth and polish in this game that, you know, I put a lot of the work on the field. And some people don't do that. They just show you bells and whistles and they want you to just enjoy the game for what it is. So going to the rosters, that's a good question. In the FAQs, we have the FAQ channel on Discord. I don't know if this will actually send here. It might be too much. Yeah, I might not be able to paste all that in there, but yeah, the rosters, I can talk through them real quick, but if you go to the Discord and go to the FAQ channel, you'll see it. But the 32 power roster, it says it's a roster that rebalances all the teams to have no weaknesses. So everybody's pretty much powered. That's why we call it 32 power. Old School Cool is a roster with the inspiration of the 80s and 90s pro rosters, like the NFL, right? Like that's where they come from. Pass Rush is a roster emphasizing greater QB pass rushing. So you're going to get more sacks. You're going to get more pressure on the QB. The Originals roster is the one that originally shipped with the game with older logos. The original teams that people kind of started to get familiar with. And so we put that in there for the old school guys who wanted the original rosters. There's one called Ultimate Chaos, which is literally a shit show. Like it's just, the numbers are crazy. Like people have 1 rating, 99 ratings. Like the game plays, it's probably going to break the game if you use it. Pro Set 24 is another, is the one I'm using here. It's the one that kind of mimics the pros. So I'll put it that way. So sorry for hitting my mic there. But those are the rosters to answer your question. But watching the gameplay, man, it's fun to watch. A lot of people don't realize that this game is a sim at heart. It's a simulation of football. The stats are pretty sim. You can play around with the minutes to see, you know, to get your sacked. So, you know, he held on to it for too long. Should I make some YouTube content? Yes. Everybody who has a YouTube channel and the capability to make YouTube videos, make them. We need as many videos as possible. I'm looking online. I'm trying to find videos, and I keep thinking, man, like, I just wish there were more. We need more. I don't want to be the biggest YouTuber doing videos. Like, that's not going to work, you know? We have to have as much support as possible to push the game, you know, to push the game to new heights. And like I said, I have no idea how well the game's doing. Like it could be doing phenomenally right now and we don't even really know. Like I just don't have a clue yet. I'm looking forward to finding out, but I know it's early, and my thoughts were that I didn't think that it would be like this blow up huge success. If it was going to be a really big success, I didn't think it would be on day one, week one, right? I think for it to be successful like that, it will be over time. It'll be people that learn about it, find out about it, are impressed with it enough to share it with their friends, share it on YouTube, as you mentioned, and then it's going to be like a slow burn type of, you know, thing where people start to just learn about it little by little. We don't have the marketing budget to throw it out there to millions of people in ads all day long, but we are doing some ads, and we're trying to do the best we can within our limits. But that's where we need everybody to keep spreading the word. Yeah, I mean, that's why I slowed down on YouTube as well. I need to focus on making the game, right? I can't be the person pushing the game. And if I'm the only one pushing the game, then I can't afford to make the game. So it's one of those things too. Look at that run. I mean, look at that run. Talk about people always listen, you know a good football game if the running is solid. And look at the way those blockers blocked. I mean, they overpowered the line, right? That's what's so cool about this game is that you can literally You can literally sit there and watch it unfold. And I've done breakdowns before. I've been watching breakdowns since Apex, Apex the legend, right? Truth Chasers, right? Gideon Prime. He was the grandfather, right? And so look at those blocks. Like, there are a lot of people that are blocking here, and they literally, I mean, this is an overpowered blocking play, but he got through the middle. And we spent a lot of time making sure that you can run through the middle, because that's really hard to get right. The offense and defensive interactions are crazy hard, but I can just sit here and watch this game, and I can enjoy the quality of the game. Every player is playing with a different piece of AI. They all have their positions and their roles, and the play. They play based on what the play instructions. Look at that play there. I mean, look at that. We're sitting here just talking. I love this game, man. We're sitting here just talking, and all of a sudden, this dude just comes through out of nowhere, and just snatches that ball up. Just snatches it, right? I'm trying to zoom in a little bit on him. I mean, he comes in out of nowhere, and he just, whoop, I got you. And I think he just literally just snatched it right in front. And you can even sit here and watch the replay, and you're going to see there's no glitching going on here. This is legit, boom, right into his hands. And this guy's 82 skill. I mean, he's solid, right? He gets in there, and when you're coding a game, you don't want interceptions to happen every 2 seconds. I mean, trust me, when I tell you guys that I'm OCD crazy and my beta team guys are worse at times, they want the game to be better at times than I do, because I get burnt out, right? I start to get the weight on my shoulders of coding it all, and the hours and the days and the nights and the mornings and all that stuff, and they keep me going. But my inner passion is, I want this stuff to look perfect. I want it to look perfect. I mean, I can even tell you, even the ball, the way it gets thrown, I guarantee you, look at the wobble. I don't even have to look. Look at the wobble on that ball. Just play it in real time. Look at the way the ball wobbles through the air. That took me time to do. It's not just I don't know if you guys, how well you can see that, but the way the ball wobbles in the air, that is beautiful to me. Beautiful. I mean, how much better do you want? I saw, not to knock another game, because I don't want to, but I'm going to show you guys real quick something. And I'm not trying to knock them at all, because I think they're doing great stuff, right? But if I go to Maximum Football, right? And you guys can check it out. I saw this tweet that came out, and I'm just doing this to compare just what I'm talking about. I look at the graphics, and you guys can't see it. Hold on, let me switch back over. If I go to chat, look at the graphics here, right? This is a picture of the new Maximum Football game coming out. This is 3D. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad at all. They got little those little tape things they put for under their eyes, and they have some cool gear and uniforms and all this stuff back here. There's a lot of good stuff going on. I may be crazy. I may be the old guy in the room. I don't know. When I look at this, though, this to me, as much as I can appreciate what they're doing from a development standpoint. But in my opinion, the graphics, compare this to Madden, right? Is this better than Madden? No. This game's going to be a direct competitor to Madden, right? It's going to be a direct competitor to Madden. So anybody who makes a 3D game is automatically going to be put side by side in the ring with Madden. Legend Bowl was going to be kind of like the guy in the corner of the crowd, trying to, I don't know if that was really loud for you guys. Sorry, because my thing just went crazy high. If it was, I apologize. I don't know what happened with my mic, but that is that's the thing with Legend Bowl. It's on the side. It's in its own lane. And if you look at the graphics here, like I said, they look great for certain parts of it, but then their faces, I'm these faces look okay. they to me look like PS3 or less, maybe PS2. I don't know. They're in that range, maybe PS3, I think, maybe PS2. I don't even know now. The way the players look, the faces, the muscles, they don't really look high def 4K. That's me. The crowd, they look okay. And it's not about this game. My point is more, I brought up the game because it's a football game and they're developing it, but I brought it up because we're talking football. But the thing is that with 3D, you immediately see the flaws. I see some veins in here, and that's kind of cool. So there is some detail there that I didn't see before. Their faces look a little bit too plain to me. They look too generic to me, too simple. But with 3D, I can quickly pick apart the graphic style, right? Now, if we jump back to the game, if we jump back to the game here, you know, the pixel art, I know somebody might be laughing like, oh, look at the pixel art, whatever. I don't look at this and say, oh my God, like, you know, it's not like this. The art to me it looks great. And that's maybe me being an old guy. I don't think so. Pixel art is timeless, man. Like I don't think that you can, you know, this is nice pixel art in my opinion. And it looks pretty and the guys look cool. And the only thing I wish is we had more stuff, more hairstyles, more gear, and that's coming with College Bowl, right? But, you know, this was the first step, right? This was the first milestone. And to me, it looks great. Looks great. And so, you know, that's me. May not be you. That's how I feel. And we've done the best we can with the animations we have, but what do you guys think? Do you guys think 3D is looking, you know, I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Everybody wants 3D. Everybody wants Madden, but I say be careful what you wish for because they don't just want 3D. They want 4K, AAA, high def, best 3D they've ever seen in their life game, right? Right. I don't play Pokemon, but I know I'm familiar with it. And so even there, that's a cool play because he's getting pressured. He didn't feel like he had anybody open. You know, he kind of had this guy open, that guy barely, but he was under pressure. Like the defense got in there. And I remember when I was working at EA and I worked on Madden 05. And Madden 05, I believe, if I'm not mistaken now, it's been so long, Madden 05 was the one with Ray Lewis on it, I'm pretty sure. Yep, the one with Ray Lewis. And that was when we decided that, like, we were going to work on a game that where defense is important. Because it was always about offense. The one with Michael Vick on the front, always about offense. And then this game, like, I want defense to show up. And defense, they're coming in hot, you know. They have pressure on this dude. They're trying to come in and rattle him. And, you know, and he dropped back and he's quickly under pressure. Like all these guys got blasted. They got bulldozed. And he's under pressure. He's got to make moves and he got sacked. He got rattled. Defense is important. We just saw an interception before. When you play with a team, if you put all 99 CBs on a team, you're going to see a lot more interceptions than you would with less. The game doesn't rubber band you. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't do anything to, and that's, you know, I have chills now talking about it because when I was working on the gameplay, I wanted the ratings to matter, and they do. They all matter in this game. Like speed matters. But it's not just speed, right? Skill. There are other components to the game. And I mean, that's a nice little run up the middle again, right? Let's see that one. I can literally play back almost every single play, and that's a nice little play. He got through the hole. He didn't warp, right? He didn't warp into anybody. And I feel like I'm trying to sell the game, and I just get excited when I see it. So don't take it as I'm trying to sell the game because it's really, yes, it'd be cool if people bought the game, and I want this game to do great for a lot of reasons. But I'm like naturally excited when I watch this game. Like, this is not just me trying to blow smoke at you guys. Like, I'm a fan. That's why it's so cool that I was able to build this game, because I'm a fan of the game and I want it to be great. But if you look how he goes through that tight hole, I mean, nobody just warps into him, right? Like, the guy on the floor can't knock him down, right? The guys that are being blocked, they really can't block him down. Like, even here, he bumps into his own guy, pushes him aside, he gets through there. That's a close encounter situation where he's got people all around him, but he gets through, right? So I don't get to play the game enough, but like, there's so much potential for this game to do well. Like, that was a nice lofted pass, right? But what I was going to say about the ratings is that if you make a game where you're basing it on the organic ratings of players, now you have a problem, because now you have a live AI simulation happening. And now the reason why I say it's a problem is because now you have to take that AI simulation and make sure that realistic stats and realistic gameplay happen. Like, you don't want to see crazy 100 yards runs every time, right? You don't want to see interceptions happen every time, right? You don't want to see, like, here, this was a great play because it shows that you can loft a pass over somebody's head and he doesn't just warp into it. I mean, I even have it to where if players can't see the ball, they're not going to immediately react. This guy's a perfect indication of that. He keeps running up the field. He can't see the ball. He's not close enough to see it, right? So there are things like that we had to do, that are just part of the way the game plays. And this guy here, he's a 79 speed, right? He's an 87 speed. He's gonna be faster. And he was able to break out and catch that nice little lofted pass over his shoulder. That's beautiful. I mean, that's beautiful. That is like the game telling me, you did a good job, right? You did a great job. It's working, right? And this isn't about me. I don't care. It's not about me. I'm too old and I don't really care. It's not about that. It's about the game. And the game has these, it's all based on the players and the ratings and the likenesses of the players, basically. Every player feels different. Like, if you put a guy to have a strong throwing arm, with a high strength rating, he can throw it further than a guy who has less strength. If you put a guy who's fast and he's a mobile QB, which is somebody who's an 85 or more or above 85, I forget, it shows it in the thing. Like, that means that he's going to take off more, which is what that question was earlier. Like, his AI he'll go for more runs. He'll get more QB runs called for him, designed for him. He'll take off and scramble more, right? Quarterbacks feel different. Running backs feel different. Some are more powerful. Some can break tackles better. Some are just faster. Like, man, like, and that's why I get so excited, and I'm trying to push this game, because now there's no excuse. Before, people would be like, "Oh, it's not on console." Well, it's on console now. The only excuse people have now is, "Oh, it doesn't have online. Oh, there's no NFL roster. There's no NFL license," right? He's getting sacked a lot. And I wonder why. I wonder if it's because something with his ratings, but I'm just curious now. He's got an 82 speed. He likes to run. See, he's one of those guys that likes to run with the ball because his speed, actually not. He's only got 82, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Maybe his IQ's low. Yeah, they have IQ in here as well. He's got a high IQ. He's getting sacked quite a bit this game. I mean, he's gotten sacked already like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, 3 times. That's pretty high. The game's a masterpiece. I mean, I feel like it's pretty awesome, but it's got potential. There's so much more we can do. But the cool thing about this is why this game is so, I get so excited, and we're working on College Bowl, by the way. This game is the foundation, and the foundation is smelling pretty, right? Smelling nice. The foundation is nice. It's quality, right? There's a lot of good in in this foundation. Look at those blockers. Now that guy broke through. He's a star player. Every play is not going to be perfect, right? but I want the majority of them to be perfect, right? But once you have the engine foundation down, maybe greed, yeah, speed and greed. Once you have the foundation down packed, then it just becomes like money. Like you're throwing like nicer, hairstyles and cosmetics and, cool options and maybe some more plays and, laterals and hot routes and different things that you can do in the game that you can't do in this. Now you start adding those features and that icing on the cake. But the cake's built. The cake's built, baby. And if you taste that cake without any icing, it tastes pretty damn good. And right now we have a cake with a little bit of icing. But I want to put more icing. I want to put some sprinkles. I want to put some goodies on top, some hot fudge, some chocolate. I want to add maybe some fruit. Like I want to do more with the game. But all that stuff's so easy to do now because we got the engine working pretty damn nice. We can tune it, we can tweak it, we can add a little bit more to it, but the core is there. And you guys all know what I'm talking about. You guys all know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, 100% free of. I don't even talk about microtransactions that much because I don't do microtransactions. I don't play game. I don't ever buy a microtransaction. I don't ever buy that stuff. My son, he's younger and he gets mixed into DLC and content like that and skins and whatever. But microtransactions, man, like people buy that stuff constantly. And I got guys saying they complain about the price. I had a guy the other day say it's too much money for this kind of game. I'm like, what? Like, really? Like, go look at Madden. What's Madden cost? What's it cost when you're all in with all your mutt? What are you paying? Right? What are you paying for the pre-order package, for the better bonus, package? And that's fine. They're a AAA studio. They got to make their money. Let them do their thing. And that's what's cool about it is we need to make money to survive. Trust me, but we don't need to make as much. I can make a game based off of passion. I don't have to make it solely for monetary purposes, right? So I think it's a good idea to share the details of editing like the color numbers. You mean like show it off on here? I was just showing some of the customization, but you guys can go play with it. It's pretty intuitive. That's what we need, though. We need people to put YouTube videos out that shows how to customize teams, how to make a roster, an NCAA roster, or a pro roster, or XFL roster, or Canadian League, whatever, your own high school roster, whatever you want. Like I want to see. My hopes is that I see videos of people that are showing the depth that this game has. Do we plan on making more logos? We have a lot of logos. We have logos for College Bowl that are coming. We are thinking about throwing out some new logos in this game as a DLC. Free DLC, probably, right? As a patch. I don't know. We'll see. But that's where, like for me personally, I don't think of this as a business first. I think of it as a fun, awesome hobby first that I get to do. But I understand why companies charge what they charge. Yeah, the game is $21 right now on sale, $25. Even if you pay full price, you're paying $25. Like, I pay more than that to get my son Uber Eats from Chipotle for a burrito. I literally just did it the other day, and I'm never doing it again. It's like $30, and I told my mom, like, don't do that anymore. But there's a convenience, right? You're paying for convenience. We were busy. We were both, unable to make something. He wanted it, but you know what? It comes here, it's expensive, didn't even taste like they messed up his food. And it's just like, that's a whole nother story. I'm not getting into that, but that costs more. My son asked me for a Fortnite skin. It was $20 we spent the other day. I'm like, and I don't do a lot of that, but he was, he deserved it, whatever. I got it for him. And that's almost as much as this game that you have hours and hours and hours and hours of content, right? We don't know when College Bowl is going to be out, James. Like, you just keep keep up with my Twitter, YouTube, and you'll hear more. But right now, it's all about Legend Bowl. We don't know when College Bowl is coming out. I want the game to be good enough, and obviously, the better Legend Bowl does, the more we can do with College Bowl, the more we can do with a Legend Bowl sequel, right? Like that's the power behind this game. We can do a lot with the kind of support. And, you know, you guys all on here, I'm sure most of you guys are supporting the game. So it's not about us here, which is another reason why, like, me doing streams, I do them because I want to talk with you guys. I want to hang out with you guys. I want to enjoy the game a little bit. I want to have fun. I want to share what's going on for people that follow. But at the end of this guy's getting killed. But at the end of the day, like, it's not, this isn't about selling to you guys, because most of you guys follow me, right? Like, we need to reach people that have no idea Legend Bowl exists, which is why we're on consoles. Like, that's the secret. Like, that's like my hope is like, okay, some kid's going to open up their PlayStation today and they're going to say, okay, let me go look what's out. And they're going to see Legend Bowl. Like, it's out there right now on the page. And they may, you know, go right by and pass. Oh, this is just another pixel art game, and no, it's nothing. I don't want it, blah, blah, blah. And they're going to just pass through it. Or they may try the free demo. And they may say, let me try this game. It's free. What do I have to lose? They try it, and they may like it. Like, but you're talking about an ocean of people, man. Like, it's exciting. It's exciting. But it's also scary, because it's like, if nobody supports it, then there go your dreams, right? There goes the potential that we had here. I mean, look at the potential for all pro football. Look at the potential for Backbreaker. You don't think those games had potential? You don't think those games spent a ton of money? A lot more than I spent? And they didn't get supported enough. It's sad. It's sad, and I hate talking about it because it's depressing, but we need football games, man. We need football games, and I know people love football, right? The NFL's not hurting for money. The players aren't hurting for contracts. Josh Allen's not hurting, right? Pat Mahomes isn't hurting, right? They're not hurting. These guys are making a lot of dough, and so, you know, this isn't like a negative thing, but it is depressing, because what could we have had we had more support, right? But, I mean, the game's selling 1 million copies. I mean, I wish, right? If it sold 1 million copies, that's $25 million, and I probably get like half. Let's just call it $12 million minus tax. I mean, listen, it's a good problem to have. Like, anything, 1 million would be phenomenal, right? Like, if I could have that, right? But that means that the next game can be that much better, right? Like, that just means we can keep going. That means we can maybe put it on more platforms. Maybe we can get it to, you know, maybe we can get the NFL license. That's a possibility. This isn't a simulation game. They're only exclusive to simulation games, right? This is, quote unquote, an arcade game. Maybe we have enough to get the NFL license. I don't know. Like, there's so much potential here online, right? There's so much potential with this game, and like, I don't know, man. Like, it's scary to see what could happen, but, you know, yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, like, I don't personally care about the NFL license, and I'm a huge Buffalo Bills fan. Give me the tools to make my own game with my own stuff, and yeah, maybe the logos aren't going to be perfect. If you get this for PC, people do mods and you can add logos, but if you're on console, this game right here looks pretty good. Like, I'm cool with this. I actually like to make my own rosters. I don't really want to, you know, just always be NFL. I want a solid football game, right? I want a game that feels good, right? That plays well, that allows me to play franchise. This game has, you can do like over 200 years of, you could probably do more than that. It all depends on how much space you have on your system, how many games you have, how much space you have left. But you could do so many years in your franchise. And, you know, and franchise could be improved. Like you could do like people have asked for a player career type of thing. That kind of stuff can be done. Like there's so much potential. You guys know. But when the foundation is solid, those things complement the game. If the foundation gameplay is bad, those things just make noise. They don't really make the game better, right? So I'm on my soapbox, guys. I apologize. I'm just talking soapbox talk, but this is exciting. And you know, and I do listen, I get scared of, you know, what can happen with the game because I don't know, right? I don't know what's going on with sales. I don't know how many people are supporting the game. It's only been a few days, so we have quite a while, but I know Game Pass didn't pick us up. PlayStation, their store didn't pick us up. Their subscription service didn't pick us up. That can change. They can. If they see the game does well enough, then they'll allow us in. But there's a lot of things to still kind of uncover. But what would hurt me the most is if this was the last time you guys ever saw Legend Bowl or College Bowl or any, like that would be like the worst, right? Right? Talk my shiz, right? So why doesn't XFL have NFL ratings? I don't know what you're asking. Most players want the NFL, right? Like people want the NFL, right? I get that, if that's what you're talking about, or XFL, I don't know. But yeah, oh, I see what you're saying. Like as a brand, I get it. But to me, like, so here's the thing with the XFL. I think games are different because if you can recreate something that feels like whatever league you like in here, you can make an XFL league, right? It may not have the same amount of teams, league structure, whatever, but you can get something close to it. When you're watching the XFL, they can't change their players to be pro players. Like the talent on the NFL is so much better. They can't change a guy's name to be Josh Allen, right? They can't do that. So that's where I think it's a big difference too. Ooh, that pass was solid, but he overthrew it. And that's another thing I love to see. Like this is another great example of when you make a game, I can make the passes perfect every time, but I like seeing missed throws. And this guy was open. And if you look at the coverage, like just because he was open, you know, everybody didn't just go after the ball. Like, I mean, it took a second or so for it to get close enough to them for them to turn around and actually try to get to it. But he threw it over his head. That's cool. Like, that's cool to me. The question is, what's good enough for Super Pixel Games? Good enough to continue making like College Bowl. I think I'm going to make College Bowl regardless. But College Bowl could be a lot better if I did, you know, depending on what we do here. Having online, that's never going to happen unless the game does super well. Like there are bigger things that would need to happen. Like if I can grow the studio, I mean, look at Super Mega Baseball. Like they literally have a brick and mortar studio with over 20 employees, even before EA bought them. They made enough money where they actually could throw talent at the game and resources to the game. And they got online the second year they did, or the second version they did it. And they redid the graphics to the game. And, you know, all that stuff was costly, right? Like, how do you hire 20 people if those guys are all making, let's say even if they're making cheap, which is like 50 grand is nothing for a technology guy, right? Let's just say 50 grand times 20, right? That's what, $500,000 just in salaries? Just in paying people salaries, you need $500,000 a year. And they didn't put a game out every year. So let's say it was like 2 years for every game. That's $1 million they need, right? So, you know, there's a lot and that's just for their salary, not including any health insurance or, you know, any other types of tax or fees, or, you know, just whatever comes with owning a business, like the costs of running a business, the rental expense, like the furniture, like the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Yeah. So they're making probably, I know, but you know, like they're making over 100, probably 100, close to 100. Like, especially nowadays with inflation, I mean, people are making money. Now what that money's going to buy you, maybe a couple cartons of eggs, but you know, it is what it is. Slam ball. Now here's the thing. This is a fun game. If you like football, it's a fun game. It's a deep game. There's a lot of value here. And if people want to have some fun for a fraction of the cost of the other game, then it's right here. It's right in front of their face. Go snatch it up. We didn't charge 40 bucks for the game, 60 bucks for the game, 50 bucks for the game. This game's cheap. Really cheap. And it's one of those things where it's hard to know how to price a game, because the cheaper you get it, the more people can buy it, right? Can afford it. But at the same time, some people may think it's just a cheap, crappy game. Some people may, you know, like there's a break-even point, or there's like a perfect price point, but you don't really know what that is. I'm happy that it's this cheap because, and obviously there are cheaper indie games, don't get me wrong, but the hours that you can play this game, they're endless, they're infinite, right? You can play them forever. So that's something that, you know, that for that price you can, it to me it's a great value, right? So the thing is, like, sorry about that. But so it's like the cool thing. Oh, that's a nice move right there, dude. Like, see, that's awesome. I love seeing stuff like that. Hold on, let me show that off again. That's a cool play. The way he like spun around and whipped around the other way, that was kind of nice. He's like, oh, I'm gonna spin, and I'm gonna go whoop. That was cool. I like that. That's the cool thing about this game. Like, I watch it, and there's like no play looks the same to me. Like, every play looks different. And I think that that's crazy because we only have so many animations. The animations aren't a lot, right? But that's the thing. In a 3D game, if you don't have a ton of animations, you're in trouble because it's going to show. This game can hide it a lot better. You can make college teams, William. You can make college teams, but this is a 32-team pro league structure. This is not college, but we are working on a college game, but that's down the road. But you guys know what I'm saying. The bottom line is, the cheaper the game, the more accessible it is to people. And the crazy thing, and what really gets football devs, which they're like a dying breed, what gets them the most frustrated is that people will go every year and spend hundreds of dollars on Madden. Hundreds of dollars, not $10, not $5, hundreds every year. They buy the game. Sometimes that game's $100 if you buy the bonus, like the better versions, right? Plus the microtransactions. They're spending hundreds of dollars every single year for decades. And they won't support a game that's $25. Just weird, man. It's just weird. And trust me, I used to play Madden. But you get to a point where you're sick and tired of it. You're sick and tired of spending the money. You're sick and tired of being taken advantage of, right? Like I felt like I was just dropping money for a roster update every year. And, you know, that's fine. If I know they make improvements, I know there's more to that, but that's what it just feels like sometimes, you know? But at the same time, like, it's expensive. AAA games are expensive. So this game is cheap. It being cheap means we need a lot more sales for us to make enough money. So, but the goal is to get people interested in the game, get people to support the game, to see the game. And if you have people that are not familiar with the game and there's a free demo or it's only $25, they may pick it up. Like that's the point. I want people to know Legend Bowl as much as they would know Madden. Like that would be like the ultimate goal. It's not going to happen, right? But I want people to be aware of the game. And, you know, ESPN 2K5 did that. They came out with the game. They came out with the game at a I think it was $20 or $25. I forget now. I think it was 20 or 25. And that game undercut the hell out of Madden. And no game ever did. We didn't have indie games back then. No game ever did that. And they totally took Madden for... I heard that they made just as much money as Madden. So that means they had double the sales. Like they really killed it, and they put their stamp. And they had a great product. That's a great run right there. They had a great product, and they undercut, right? Only game day outsold Madden, but I swear NFL 2K came close. Like, yeah, $20, right? And that's kind of the strategy here, believe it or not. I know we're not a AAA game, so that's kind of hard. We're probably pretty expensive for an small indie game, but you know, when you compare to football games, fully featured football games, there's not much competition. So, I mean, what do you guys think in the comments? I'm watching the comments. What do you guys think? Like, realistically, like, not blowing smoke, like, what do you guys think the chances are of this game doing well? Like, give me a percentage. Is it 5% chance? Is it 10? Is it 30? Is it 50? Like, what chances do you think this game really has? Because everybody would always say it's not on consoles. It's not on consoles. They'd complain that they can't play it. It's not on consoles. Like, this play right here, it's interesting because... this dude has an 86 speed, right? And his he's got some greed. He's got some intelligence, but the thing is that he'll, like, faster mobile QBs, they will try to run the ball, try to run away. Problem is that they get sacked a lot too. So it's one of those coding things where we try to make it where if they have a window where they could run, they run. But, you know, these are the things that happen sometimes. And just like in real life, scrambling QBs get bit. You scramble, you're getting bit. But the faster ones like Lamar Jackson, they might get out faster. So if that guy was a 99 speed, maybe he could do it. I think you guys are being too kind. 50%, 50%, 40%. 65, 85. Yeah, I mean, I wish it was 85. And listen, we may find out this game's making millions of dollars. I have no idea. The one thing that you guys know is I'm going to be as transparent as possible. You know, I don't know how much I can share because I'm in business with my publisher, but I am... That's a nice pass right there. That's a beautiful pass, folks. That's a beauty. Hit him right in the numbers. Look at that pass. He threw it right at the right time. And see those defenders, this guy has to turn around. He was going the opposite way. He has to turn around now and try to catch up. That's a great pass. There aren't flags, like they don't throw flags in the air, but there are only a few penalties in the game. One of them's offsides. There's onside. There's, like, if you kick the ball out of bounds, that's a penalty. There's the rules. All the rules are basically in the game. Yeah, that's the thing I keep hearing is anybody who tries it loves it. So if you love it, you tell your friend. That was my theory. Like, that's a great run again. All the runs I'm seeing, by the way, are up the middle. And you guys know how hard it is to get a game to play well up the middle like that. Look at that play. Look at that play, folks. I could do replay after replay after replay. That's the quality of this game, dude. Like, look at that. How the hell did he get through there? Everybody was getting blocked. I mean, even this guy missed a tackle. Look at this guy. He's like, whoop. I mean, and then he made his own little move up here to punch him in his mouth right here. Bam. Oh, that's funny. Boom. It does play sim, man. It really does. Like it's crazy. But that's the thing. My thought when I started down this path was, Havo, make a quality game and they will come. Like, why wouldn't you come? Why wouldn't somebody want to play? Okay, fine, it doesn't have the NFL license. Fine, it's not online. Fine, it's not 3D. Okay, those are pretty big things. I get it. But if the game is good, another one up the middle, another run up the middle. If the game is good, I don't care who's in it. I don't care who's on it. And that's why it's, to me, that's why making a non-3D, like pixelated game, we have a chance because nobody expects real life. Nobody expects NFL. Nobody expects the game to be online and perfect. Like, this is an indie pixel game. So when they get it and they play it, they're pleasantly surprised and like, oh shit, there's a lot under the hood here. There's a lot going on here. Like, wow, this is great. Like, this is amazing. Like, it's fun. It's sim, better than Madden. Like, it's kind of like that, low expectation, but high, and I think that, like, my thought, I don't know what happened there. My thought was, that was cool. He kind of like, it tipped and then went back in his hands. If you look closely, tipped there and went scoop. He jumps and grabs it. The idea was like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. Like, that was my idea. And maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm too wishful thinking. Maybe I give too much credit to the football community. I don't know. But I know it has all that potential. So people just need to wake up, try something new. I know. I guess the thing that I can never get, which sucks, and you guys are able to get that. I wish I could experience what it would be to be in your shoes and have a game like this come out and me learn about it and me have like that organic, like, cool feeling of, that was a great play. Like, even there, that guy didn't, I could replay all day long. I love replays. This guy tried to block it there, but he just wasn't in time. Like, he's at 72 skill, right? This guy's at 89 skill. So, by the way, ratings matter, right? So, like, in this type of situation where you got two guys there, the guy with the higher skill usually should, if it's a high skill differentiation, like disparity or whatever, like in this case, yes, the ball needs to hit his hands. But if you got two guys right there, if some guy's really, really good, like a Randy Moss, they're going to jump over you and grab it, right? Height also makes a difference in this game. Like, who are these guys? I'm just looking at it for fun. I'm using it as an example. I don't know what really happened, but West is an OLB. McLean, obviously wide receiver, right? So if I go McLean, he's only 6 foot tall, right? And it may or may not matter in this case because his and then West, 6'4". So West is actually taller in this case, right? But the skill is so different that the guy with the better skill gets an edge, and the higher skill he has, he gets the higher edge. But that's all player rating. But no, my idea was if you build a really quality game, Oh yeah, going back. I wish I could be like you guys. I wish I could turn on my PS5 and be like, oh my God, what is this football game? Never heard of this football game. I mean, I did that with Retro Bowl, and that quickly died on me because that's not my kind of game. I don't do mobile games either. But man, when people like just pull up the store and see the game, like I'd be like, what is this? And I love pixel art, so me, I'd be a sucker for it. But I'd be like, whoa, Tecmo Bowl? Everybody's talking about Tecmo Bowl? Like, what is this? Is this just another Retro Bowl? Is this just another Tecmo? What is this game? And I'd be hyped. I would be hyped. At $20, hyped. I'd be all over this game. I'd be doing YouTube videos about this game left and right. I'd be like going nuts, making rosters, just going ape shit, crazy on this game, like bananas. I'd be going bananas, bonkers, crazy. And I'm not saying it like that's how I really feel. And I've been playing this game for 6 years. And look how excited I get. That says a lot, right? And this is I'm not fake. That's why I don't do corporate America anymore. If I can stay away from it, I will. But I'm not a fake person. You know who you're talking to, good or bad. You know, like I may offend you, I may not. That's just the way I'm built. I can't fake things. It's hard for me to be fake. And politicians are not my friends, right? Like I'm not that person. So yeah. You've been ignoring your other games since the game dropped. I have a nice game collection, but Legend Bowl is the only game that matters right now. Cool, man. Like I hope it stays there. Like, you know, I hope that this game has enough legs for you to keep going. See, like he ran out. They think they can run out. They're stupid. They think they can run out. Like that might be tweaked one day. Like I don't know. Like, but those are the things, you know. And if you look on the bottom, you get pro tips. You know, read those pro tips because those are pretty helpful. But if you guys have any ideas or things that I can do, no, Ryan Moody, he doesn't really cover games like that. He just tries to make money on YouTube, making Madden videos. I don't. He's not a real. I don't look at him as an authoritative source for football games, and I don't think that. Whatever. I'm not going to talk smack, but he's not. He didn't review it. No. He does his thing. He's in his lane doing his thing, and I have no problems with the guy personally. I don't think he plays those games anymore. He's just bashing Madden and making money. That's all he does. He's not really trying to push the genre anymore. A lot of those guys aren't because they're just burnt out too, and they just want to make money, right? Like Soft Drink TV, he did make a review back then, like a couple years ago, whatever. But he will be doing something for the game. It won't be a full exclusive video, but he'll be mentioning the game. Yeah, on PC we have a mod that you can make your own plays, but not for. PlayStation Store Plus tax, the game is $36. What? What game? Not this game. This game's $24.99 and it's 15% off. It may not be 15% off on PlayStation, but for PlayStation it should be, if it's $24.99, it should be $24.99 plus tax. That's not $36. Maybe 26. You meant. Yeah, Playbook Designer is definitely something that we can do in the future. I already have it built for a PC mod. The real thing is getting it to work with a controller, because I have a PC mod where you you use your mouse. Like speaking of that, like Noisy Pixel, they did a review, which I really appreciate. They gave it an 8 out of 10. They said the game was great. The only thing they didn't like was the UI on the menus and the roster screens and all that didn't work well with a gamepad. Like it works better on PC and Switch, they said. But PC, all those use gamepads. The game was built for consoles. There's no mouse functionality with the game. So, and then he gave it an 8. Like I said, why would you give it an 8? And what you're saying isn't even really make sense to me, but it's just funny how reviews go. But I don't think the reviews matter. Look at Madden. Madden sells billions of dollars, and their reviews are horrible. Speaking of reviews, I wonder if Metacritic starts having, because what they do, I think they take like the averages. We got 88 people in here. You guys need to hit that like button for sure. Metacritic has Legend Bowl in there, but I think they're still waiting on more reviews. They're all to be decided still. You know, and the cool thing about the crappy thing about like our world is that like success revolves around money for a lot of people. You know, like I feel like, you know, everybody's saying the game's better than Madden, and people saying the game's awesome. You know, everybody. I'm looking at my Twitter feed right now, and it's just every day I'm getting, like all throughout the day, I'm getting 20 plus notifications all day long. So people are hitting me up, you know, and that's awesome. It's really awesome. But like that's what I was gonna say about money. It's like money is not everything, right? Like money is not. Like I am so proud of. I can go to my grave knowing that I was able to leave corporate America and find a way to make this game and build this game with my bare hands and learn a language from scratch, a programming language from scratch, and code this game and, you know, orchestrate and get lucky enough to get a following and get lucky enough to get certain people to support the game and help me with the game and test the game, and you beta tester guys, and just connect with certain people that help me with the art. The guy who did the art, his name's Shroom Arts, like Shroom Arts. He made the art for like the player art for this game. He helped me a lot with the UI design, and he's a AAA. I think he works for EA. He's a AAA professional in the gaming industry. He does like 3D stuff now, a lot of it, and he's sick of making pixel art because he says it's harder than doing 3D. And people don't appreciate it anyway, so, you know, whatever. So I have had a lot of help. Top Hat Studios, you know, they were the one publisher that really wanted to help me. Like I knocked on a lot of doors, or not a lot, I knocked on a few doors and nobody was opening them. And, you know, even Devolver Digital, like they actually responded to me and said they know about my game and you know, they can't really, you know, they can't really work on it with me for whatever reason right now. And I was like, okay, well, but like Top Hat came through, and Top Hat was able to help me out. And with money aside and financial gain aside, it's a phenomenal accomplishment. And people, what's awesome about it, and that's what's kind of cool, you edit player names in the player editor. Go to teams, roster, edit player, and you could do it in there. You got to move to the left. Move your it's kind of weird. Like once you learn how to do it, it's easy, but the cursor's on the right side of the screen, but you just got to just move left and it'll go to the left side of the screen, and then you can change the name. But what I was going to say was the fact that this, like when I was coding the game at first, I started out with the player movement, just like what you guys would probably do. You want a game that just plays well, that feels good. I started out with the player movement. Then I started to get like all the guts in the game, the playbooks in the game, all the pieces. It became like this puzzle. And it's funny how like at one point, like it didn't feel like it was fun. Like the game, I had like a little demo that I was working on, and the game felt okay. But the more you put pieces together, the more that puzzle became something beautiful. And I knew that the game of football was beautiful. I just had to find a way to represent it and take all these pieces and just build on top of them to the point where it felt good and balanced. And A lot of guys on my beta team, they help me with the rosters and they help me with balancing and testing and tuning and blah, 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 and AI and all that stuff. And just, it was a constant grind and chipping away and grinding and chipping. And I know that at the end of the day, I built a game that people love. Like, people love this game. I keep hearing crazy stuff. I know people hate Madden. They say they hate it. They have a pretty toxic relationship with Madden and EA. But they buy it every year, most people. I get that. But they'll say it's better than Madden. I don't think it's better than Madden. Madden's a AAA studio, billion-dollar game, whatever. But there are aspects about it that I would much rather play this game than Madden. I just don't like Madden. I just don't care for the game. I think it's not a good game. So maybe it is better than Madden. I don't know. But it feels good to know, like it's surreal because it hasn't really hit me hard yet. But the game's on Switch. I grew up playing Nintendo. I grew up playing Sega, Genesis, Nintendo Entertainment System. You know, then PlayStation came out, Xbox, all that stuff. And, you know, I grew up with that stuff. Game Boy. I remember when I was a kid and we went to like Disney and I took Game Boy on the bus. It was so cool. And I was playing all those games back then. And I played Tetris on my Game Boy. I think I played the golf game on there. Like, I'm a huge gamer and I'm older now and I don't play as much as I used to, but like, it's a huge accomplishment, you know? My dad passed away like 2 years ago and he was always asking me, he's like, man, when's your game going to come out? I want to see how, like, he wanted to see how it did financially because he was worried about me, right? He was concerned about how I could afford to live, you know? And I went to school, man. I got a 4-year degree in management information systems at the University of Central Florida. I went back there and I got a master's degree in business administration. I got an MBA degree from there. I used to work at NASA. I used to work at Lockheed Martin, Disney. I've worked at some pretty damn good companies. Good, when I say good, I mean prestigious companies, Fortune 500 companies, right? Government, like high-end, you know, prestigious places. And, you know, I didn't like any of those jobs. I worked at EA Sports, right? Like, me leaving all of that stuff, I worked at NBC. Like, I'm not trying to rattle off it doesn't matter to me. What, you know, this is the greatest accomplishment I've ever had in my career. And I don't even use my degrees right now. Like, I don't, like, yeah. I told my mom, she's still wondering how it's doing, just like I am, right? She asked me, I go, I don't really know, Mom. But I know people like the game, and I know the game. And she's always been supportive. She was the one, my dad's really hard. He was hardcore. And he was always super conservative and go to school and do the right thing and blah, blah, blah. Take the smart route, which I get. You know, I'm not trying to blah, blah, blah him, but I get where he was coming from. Like, they went through depressions, right? They went through hard times. We're from Spain, and they lived in Cuba, and they've been through hard times, you know, and I understand all of that. But like, when you have a passion for something, like, you just do crazy things. And I tried to go the route. I did everything that he wanted me to do, right? I did everything he wanted me to do, but by the time I got to almost 40 years old was when I was like, this is enough. I tried it all. It didn't work. I didn't want to do it. And this has been my calling for forever. And I know that now, right? But the thing is, like, financially, it's scary to do that. And, you know, my dad would always ask me, like, are you going to be done? Like, he people don't understand how long it takes to make a game. And he was like, after year 1, are you done yet? Year 2, when are you going to be done? Year 3, when are you going to stop playing games and go get a job? Like, that's the way he would talk. And my mom was always like, you know, she was more of a believer. And in the beginning, she's like, just do it. What's the worst you have to lose? Like, let's say you can't, you don't finish, or you can't get to that point, or whatever, it doesn't work out. You can always go back and get a job. Like, she's more of that's a personality thing too, right? It's like, you're going to be okay. And she helped me kind of also believe in myself to do it. And, you know, that's awesome, Infrared. What did I surprise you with on launch day? Exactly. Okay, so Toy Gains. Does the AI adapt to your play calling, and why no play action passes? The AI play calling is based on the situation and based on the situation of the game, like the score, the down, the quarter, but it also takes into account the ratings, right? Like what kind of team you are. There's also, if you go to the team editor on the bottom, you have your base defense. So your base defense is going to get chosen more often than not. But the AI is mostly like based on the situation. When it comes to your, it comes to the ratings for the offense, even more so, like depending on what kind of QB you have, what kind of running back you have, different plays get called. The AI does not adapt. There's no rubber banding. It doesn't it's not smart enough to know that if you keep running the same play every time that you can exploit them. It's not going to do that. That's something that I may be able to improve down the road. But what's interesting is that the AI is smart enough to pick plays that if you try to do the same play every time, assuming they have that's what's cool about it. Let me say it like this. The player ratings are so important in this game and play calling as well, right? But the player ratings are important because the play calling is smart enough to know that if you're on a 3rd and 15, you're probably going to pass it, right? So, or if you're running it every time with your running back or your QB, let's say, they are going to pick the best play for like a running type of play if your QB's fast, maybe. But the ratings are what matter. So if they're not smart, if they're not fast enough or strong enough or skillful enough to stop whatever you're doing, they probably won't be able to stop it. But the teams are balanced. The teams have different kind of strength. We spent a lot of time making sure the teams had strengths and weaknesses, and nobody was like this crazy outlier of a team. Like if you play the Ultimate Chaos roster, you'll see more of that. My point is that the natural, organic play calling AI and ratings, I don't see where you can exploit the game. Now, someone's going to figure out a way to probably do it. Maybe, I don't know. But ratings, if ratings are intact and not lopsided and skewed, I don't think that there's that problem. So I hope that answers your question. Fatigue matters too. It's really just stamina. Like, I don't think they really have fatigue. Like what I was going to do when it's in the game, I just don't have it like draining. I don't think the fatigue actually drains anymore. So like you have like 2 different bars. Maybe my guys on here, maybe View, if you're still on here, can help me out. But if you look at the actual bar when you're running around, it drains. Like the stamina will drain on the bar. But there's a fatigue, which is like think of the fatigue as like the full stamina bar. I think it's the red underneath. That used to decrease over the length of the game. So as if you're using your guy a lot, he's going to be so tired that his max stamina is now down. But I don't know if fatigue goes down anymore. I think we pulled it out. So they always have 100% fatigue, I think. But what I was trying to say earlier about my pops, see, he's running away now, but he still can't get away. It's hard, man. I'm wondering, I might tweak that at some point. Maybe it's a sequel I do or a new patch down the road. But when they run away, I think what they should probably try to do is like compare what speed they are. And if they're not faster than everybody else around them, maybe don't run as much. I don't know. I see a lot of sacks with these running guys. Yeah, I mean, merch is one of those things where I would consider doing it. I'm just so like the business side of me, as much as I have an MBA, right? The business side of me, that's the work I don't want to do. Like I want to do the fun. I want to do like the game play stuff more. I've looked at doing merchandise, but to be honest, we haven't had enough. I mean, the Steam, listen, I have over 700 reviews. The game has over 700 reviews on Steam, and they're 90% positive reviews. That's pretty huge for a football game on PC. And, the reason why I say it is because I was going to say we don't have a huge following right now. So to have a merch store may not be the right time, but I think that that's changing. You know, I don't know. But I'd be open to any opportunity to try to, you know, not any. I mean, I got offered money. I got offered a decent amount of money to like let an NFT group of guys take my engine and use it. And I'm like, nah, I'm not doing NFTs. I thought about it, but I'm like, nah. So there's business opportunities out there to be had. I just need to figure out what makes sense to do. But I've built a pretty damn solid engine. And somebody may want this one day, or I may, you know, it may have some value. I don't know. But I'm not looking to sell the engine, though. Yeah. Right. So we, but it's crazy because we have fatigue in there, which drops your max stamina down over the long haul of the game, but I disabled that. That's not in the game because I think for some reason we turned that off because the gassing part of the game is something that hurt, like people, like it hurts the gameplay if people are getting gassed every 2 seconds, right? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna show you guys a player of the game. I'm gonna just run to the restroom real quick, and I'll be back. We'll do something else, and then we'll keep going with the stream. But I just need to run to the restroom for just a second. I'll let you guys look at the player of the game, and then I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm back in the building. Whoops. There we go. Chat live. Why isn't that showing up? Trailer video. The game's now available, right? The game's now available. Multiplayer. I mean, the one cool thing about the game, like if you're playing, like if you got roommates or brother, sister, siblings, whatever, it could be your spouse for all that. Like you can play the game locally, co-op, up to 4 players, which is kind of cool. Online is something that we can do. It's just a matter of resources, right, and time, and so we're hoping that if the game does well enough, that will be something that we do in the future. But online is crazy. Like, it's crazy money. Like, it's a lot. So it's going to take time. Can I show how defense works? What do you mean by that? Yep, I need that Microsoft Azure. We used to use that in my old job, one of my old jobs. I used to actually run that server. We had some servers on there, on the cloud. Oh yeah, I can do that. Let's take a look at the, one thing I wanted to try to do is, let me see if I can add it in here. Hold on. What is it? Game capture. Copy. Paste. Paste reference. Let's do this. This would be kind of cool if I can do this. Now, did I just screw up my other one? That's my only problem. Okay, I didn't. Cool. That's cool. So I'm going to push this over. All right, so I don't know how well you guys can see this, but it's kind of cool, right? Like seeing it this way. I may move it over a little bit and make it bigger. Kind of cool. This guy's a jerk. I'm just kidding. I'm being stupid. All right. No helmet. So this guy got 100. He broke the century mark at 103 yards, 18 yards per carry, average 6 yards, long 42 TDs, man. No fumbles. He had some reception yards too. Let's take a look at the team stats. I'm playing 8-minute quarters. So they got 326 total yards, 147 passing, 179 rushing. And that's what's cool. It's like you'll play games where there's no rushing yards, but look at the team, look at the stats. Somebody might, and that's what's crazy. Somebody might play this game and their first impression is, even the reviewers, their first impression might be, oh, it's just this game's trash. The rushing yards are low, but they played one game. And they didn't look at the teams. If you watch the Sports Gamers Online review, that was probably the review that really you could tell they played the game. They know what's under the hood in that game. Watch that review if you really want to know. But the stats are pretty solid here. Like you can go all the way down, take a look at all the stats. 2 turnovers, 1 turnover. You can see the rushing plays, passing yards, rushing yards. You can go in here and look at the stats for each team. King had a high QB rating, well, higher than Marin or whatever, but 2 interceptions to 0. But the sacks were crazy, like 4 sacks, 7 sacks, right? Like, because these guys like to run. They're speedy dudes. At least this guy more so. Rushing, 29 attempts, 18, 97 yards, 103. And these guys are both pretty solid rushers. 88, 85, speed 89, 87, 83. They're fast dudes, right? You can look at their player card. This is what's cool. Every player, you can look at their card. It's a cool little screen. Receiving yards. I mean, these menus are... this is AAA stuff here, guys. Like, you're looking at the same thing you look at any game, right? Like, what's the difference, right? You can look at the receiving yards, the defense. There's a lot of sacks. This guy got Yeah, but they're distributed. I mean, that's what's cool. It's not just one guy doing all the work, right? The stats are solid in this game. Yeah, the MVP screen is pretty dope. Punting, special teams. So that's pretty much it. Let's go. Let's do some scrimmaging, right? So you say you want to see how defense works, right? So defense is, I'll show you guys. So one thing I notice is that like when you do play type, right? I think they're up to 60 plays. So the game will only pull up to 60 plays from that playbook, right? But I didn't mean to pick a play there. But you can hold down the right trigger and you can see, you can audible if you want to. See, that's out of bounds. You can, I'll show you guys. It's just the computer wants to hike it pretty fast, but I'll try to show you. What I was going to say is that like when you go to play type, some people said like there's only 60 plays, but 60 is the most that we pull. So like if you have a play type like this one, I only pull 60, but there's more than 60 man blitz plays or zone blitz plays in the game. So if you go to formation and you sit there and you start to count 29 plus 41 plus 22 plus 14, right? Plus 31 plus 26. You count all the plays. There's a lot more on offense, obviously. But the cool thing, one thing that you guys want to look at is right down here in that there, you see the package, 3 wide receivers, 1 running back, 1 tight end. That's how you know, and that takes a few seconds to see. Because it's like a game, right? Where it's, you know, other games do it too, other football games, but it's that trade-off where the longer you wait, like you can see who comes out from the bench, and I know they're coming with a 3-1-1, right? So what do I pick? I might pick, for me, I'd probably pick like a 4-3. I like playing a lot of man zones, like this one. If you want to drop back, you just hit motion, and these guys will fall back a little bit. The left trigger strafe, I use that a lot. But what's cool is you can come in here into the lab and you can do some work, right? Like, so now I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and they're coming out 2-2-1. So now I know it's a run play. I'm probably going to be a little bit more aggressive. Now, it might not be a run play, right? But I'm going to go all out blitz here and kind of see. Can you guys see the screen okay? Is it too small? See, it's funny because, I can actually like pass interfere. You can pass interfere dudes in this game. Like right here, this guy was interfered with, right? But I'm not going to call that. Like trying to get pass interference in the game is crazy, but you can do a little bit of cheesy stuff like that. And that's where the arcade side of it comes into play. But I'm cool with that. And I can feel good about that because it's a pixel game, right? Like pixel game. I can get away with that, right? The game can get away with it. So 4-3 again. I'm coming out with dime. I'm going to try to pick like cover 2 man. You can't go wrong with cover 2 man. You can do some motion. Motion those guys out. Interception. That was user pick right there. User pick. You guys saw that with your own eyes. King Havo. You know, I picked him up after it was thrown. I got in front. I jumped and I snatched that ball. Snatch. 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 Right? That's Snow. Let's see how tall. I always want to wonder how tall these guys are. Snow. 5'11", not that tall. But what's his rating? He's at 80. But somebody asked me before at on Twitter or somewhere else. They asked me, how do you intercept? I jump, you know, jumping. I do jumping, but you can intercept all sorts of ways. Just standing there, you can intercept. Oh, one thing that's important is grab tackle. So like if you run around with the right trigger pressed, follow this guy here, Hopper. I can run. He runs a little slower. See, I swatted that. Check that out. Watch. But like when he's running right here, I'm pretty sure they run slower when they're grabbing. But the cool thing about holding down the right trigger and grabbing is that you can run into a player and you can tackle them. It's a more conservative way to tackle somebody. But if you look at the pass here, I picked up the defender and I jumped right there. So look at the ball physics. Like this is legit ball physics. And that's where the game's modernized. People think it's a joke. It's not. This game's real time. Real time. I just picked a random play there. I'm going to try to go out to the quarterback. And you can hold the D-pad down and move it. You can hold like the B button and just move around. Like if you want to move players around, like the old games do that. Instead of just, you know, cycling through every player, you can hold B on the, or O on the PlayStation, and you can just move the D-pad around. And you just tap A to try to break through a tackle or a block.
Come on, ref, throw the flag.
Hey, thanks, Joe Torres. Hey, just keep in mind for the Switch, we got performance patches coming out like probably next week. So stay tuned because the game is even going to get better on the Switch because Switch is not playing, you know, as nice as a PS5, but you probably know that. You know, it's a trade-off. That's good blocking there, but I'm going to try to get around this dude. Get off me. See, that was good blocking, man. All the way around. That dude's going for a TD. So that's basically defense. Like, I don't know. What's up with this end zone? Oh, see, because I messed with the team. Like I have to pick a different. I'm going to show you guys this now. So look, like you guys may not, like, you may have done this and be like, how did I do this? Right? Oh, by the way, I love the ads. Like the ads are awesome. Oh man, thanks for the donation. So look, just win, Vikey. That's pretty cool. Drain the rain. Oh, look at that one. MT Sports. Nope, gotta get rid of, gotta move away from that one. IDOT. So we did some pretty cool, like the beta team did a lot of those. There's another one there. Old smell. That's funny. But if you go to teams and you go down to editor and you go to end zone, look at the end zone, right? Because I picked this end zone, but I can switch it around. I can make it like that. And then you can change like the colors, like you can pick whatever you want here. If I wanted to put like bison here, I can do that. You can change the font style. Do something like that. Change the color around. I mean, I can make it red for all I care, right? So you can do a lot with the, you change the stadiums, you can change the goalposts to the old school ones. I can change this to aqua, turf. But I can change them more. I can change the field to be a different field. Like you can do all sorts of stuff. And some of them are domes. Like if this was the Buffalo Bills, which is clearly not, I could change it to be their new stadium, whatever. If they're building a new stadium, whatever. You could change that all around. You could change how the weather works, the amount of times they run. Like if I put it to 100%, keep that in mind. Like if I put them at and I'll put their, well, it doesn't really matter, but at 100% run ratio, and I'll save it to the roster. But if I go back to practice mode and they will run it every time in the game, like in an actual game, because I just put it at 100% run ratio. They'll run it every time. The problem though is like, not problem, but the thing you have to keep in mind though is that there's AI play calling, and if they need to call a pass in certain situations, they will. They won't run it every time. But here they should pretty much run it every time because I chose that, right? So you can do that. This looks beautiful, by the way. We're playing at nighttime right now, but it looks pretty beautiful on my screen. Xbox, the new systems, like the Xbox Series X, I think they call it, and the PS5, those play beautifully. The older ones, you can kind of tune things. I know like having replays on or the ticker on, I think. I don't know. Play around with the graphics settings. Turn them all off, turn all the fans off, the weather off, whatever. You can change things. There's a speed modifier in there that which makes the players move faster. The new patch is going to come out. It's already out on the PlayStation, but the new patch is going to come out for Xbox and Switch that allows the ball actually goes faster too now, and the players like look like they're running faster too. I mentioned it earlier in the stream. If you missed it, you can go back and listen to it again. But the two current gens are obviously the best. So I know they're running it. Like, and you can also do this. Like you can go to graphics and you can do show plays. Show team plays, and you can also like change the football around. So if I wanted to put like a college football, I can, and you'll see that the ball is going to be a college football now. See that? I don't know if you can see. Yeah, see it's a college football, and if I change it to be, this is the details I'm talking about. If I put it back to the actual like the way it's supposed to be from the game. This is the Legend Bowl official ball, right? So if you look at that ball, that's the Legend Bowl ball. And I wonder if I change it here, if the replay will change. It might not, but I'm just going to do it for fun as a test. We have like two-tone. Vintage, Vintage Pro, Vintage, All Vintage Pro Alt. What's this? Whoops. Okay, it'll show the old one. That's fine. But see, there's the vintage. This one's kind of cool. This is like the old school. Like these are the ones that like the NFL like memorabilia has. These cool two-tone looking ones. This is the kind of stuff that's in the game, though. You know, like let me just see so you guys. Oh, it's not really the best angle. But it's the two-tone. You know, it's got like a light side and a dark side. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Michael, God, I don't touch the multiplier for PS5. I leave it at where it's at. I like to see players run like they do in real life. So like, I'll go here and just pick a team. You guys need to read these screens here, by the way. There's a lot of behind the scenes, behind the curtain stuff that's happening. But like, I love the chatter. Shout out to Freddy T. He's the one that did all the voices.
Look at the hang time. Trampoline.
I don't know if you guys can hear that. Listen.
Flight class is in session. I got hops for days.
That stuff's pretty cool. I like that. But like, just the way the guys run. If you time somebody, like somebody who runs the 40, right? Like this guy, I don't know how fast he is, but Brock, right? Let's do it. They have acceleration in this game. They have deceleration in the game. Trust me, the engine. Hey, we know who that guy is, or is he not? I don't know. But let's see what kind of speed I have for a 40-yard dash. Let's go down to here. This is the kind of stuff that I did. Even somebody said the players are too big for the field or something. No, the field. Trust me, I did. I have. It's hard for me to show you really quick, so I'm not. But I have like old art where I was drawn out like how far, like what does a real yard distance in this game look like? Like that's how crazy I was with this game. I went like super deep with, so trust me, it's true to scale. But this is a cool end zone. But like 40-yard dash. Ready? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's pretty slow, right? Brock. Maybe it's not as fast as maybe it's not working the best. I don't know. So let's see who this guy is. Brock. 88 speed. He's pretty fast. So I would expect him to run faster. So I don't know. Maybe he's in the snow. In the snow, they might not run as fast. I don't know. Let me go back to him again, see if I can get him again. Because it's not the same guy every time. Oh, man. If you have it for Xbox Series, it's actually going to be golden. That's the newest one, right? Yeah. The one thing I noticed with the PS5, there's like a little bit of like a stutter every once in a while I saw this morning. But I think if you turn off the replays or turn off some of the graphic stuff, like one or two things, like the ticker maybe. But I didn't see it when I messed around and put them back on. So I don't know. But you can play around. The game plays flawlessly. Let me try to do that again. Oh, you know why? Because I wasn't tapping A also. You need to tap A to get the full boost maybe. Let me see. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he runs a 4 point something. So, I mean, I think it's pretty true to scale. Trust me. I did the math. I'm that crazy. But, like, these are all the moves you can do. You can charge. If you hold down the X button on PlayStation, A button on Xbox, and B button on Nintendo Switch, hold it down, he charges, and he does like a boost move. The move will be stronger. Just like in All Pro Football and 2K5. If you tap, you can see... You see like the smoke coming out. He runs a little faster. Turning around, you can see he rotates around. It's not just a quick turnaround. The running is really solid in this game. Like, I sat here and I did this. I have streams. I have like videos where I talked about this. I had at one point where when you turn around, you skids a little bit, but I never really got that working the best, so I took it out. I don't think we really needed it, to be honest. There's a lot of different moves that you can learn. Yeah, once that performance patch comes out, there's already one that's out for the Switch, but there's going to be another one later on this week, I think, whenever Nintendo approves it. Let's do some offense here. If you haven't hit that like button, go ahead and hit that like button. That helps with people finding out about the game. So like on here, like you'll see 60 plays. There's more than 60 outside runs, right? So if I go to formation and I look, there's 42 plays, 25 plays, 30 plays, 28 plays, 28, 20, 24, 27, 20. If you start adding up all the plays, like I swear we're like close to 1,000 plays. Like there's a lot of plays in this game. Definitely over, I think, 500, but you can count them all. You can ask the coach. The coach gives you plays depending on the situation. You can disguise the plays. Like if you hold down L2, like if you're playing with a couch buddy, right? Like if I go here, let's just say I'm in play type and I'm in standard pass. If I do L2, the plays change. So like I may want to pick comeback. Like I may want to pick this play, right? But if you're playing with a friend next to you, you don't want them to see it. So you just hold L2 down and then you can disguise it. See, this might be a bug. Oh yeah, it's a bug that we're going to fix. This is something that hasn't been fixed yet, I think. But I know that they're aware of it. But when you scroll over with disguise on, it should still show it. So ignore that for now. But that's a minor thing that we saw. But like if I go over here and then I press it, it's just when you scroll out of it, I think, when you scroll left. Yeah, see? I just got a bug. I got to run this again. So there's a little bug there that I think the console broke. But I may actually be done with this stream. Like, I'm going to try to do some more of these guys because I am... I want to promote the game. I want to share it with you guys. I want you to hear what's going on. I want you guys to be able to have questions. But at the end of the day, like I can sit here and I can have games run if you guys just want me to run them live. I don't want the streams to be boring, but I'm probably going to take a break. It's been close to 3 hours I've been streaming. So for those of you guys who stopped through, I really appreciate it. All the support you guys have given to the game, I really appreciate it. The game it's an awesome game. It's an awesome football game. It's fun. It's got sim aspects to it, arcade aspects to it. It's a pretty deep game. I just want to see more people get their hands on it. I want to see people show it off on YouTube and Twitch and online. And I really hope that, you know, people are watching. People are watching. So if you guys are interested, I can keep doing these streams. Sounds like you guys are. Hit the like button, like I said, if you haven't already, because that way people will see the video more. But we'll do more. Let me know if you guys want me to do them in the future, and I'm gonna probably do them anyways because I want to promote the game, and I like talking about the game, and it's an exciting time for football fans. And football's around the corner. Preseason's already started, so good luck to you with your team this year, and have some fun on the field with Legend Bowl. So I'll catch you guys in the next stream or video, and we'll talk. Peace. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Later.